Hi, welcome to the first video on the Galactic Federation channel. The Galactic Federation has been around since we can't even comprehend. And there's a very big reason why the government aren't coming out and telling us right now that the drones, using the word drones, UFO, UAP, drones, it gets to the point where it's ridiculous. And they need humankind to come to that conclusion all by themselves. And when humankind come to that conclusion that it's ridiculous, then there's only one alternative left. There's only one scenario that it could possibly be, and that is extraterrestrials. But hopefully people will realize that before full disclosure, because that's the whole point. Full disclosure is going to blow everyone's mind. The reason that I personally can accept this reality is because it is reality to me. Back in 2003, when I was with my good friend Alexander, we were in Crete. I was working as a holiday rep at the time. I know you're thinking, you're probably drunk out your face or something. No, it was at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and we were actually going to do our laundry. We looked up into the sky and literally saw this sort of black silver type of craft. It was a cylindrical, very cylindrical, had no seams or anything like that. The sun was shining off of it, and it was so bright that it was actually hard to look at in a way. So it was kind of it was below the clouds, kind of I'd say in between the clouds and Earth, about there. I would say the size of maybe 8 cars, if they were kind of like more of it was kind of like that. And so what happened was it sort of moved suddenly out of, it just basically went like, it moved around like that and then went off faster than anything I've ever seen in my life. It was completely silent. It didn't make a sound, okay, completely silent. There was no sonic boom when it whizzed off faster than I can even explain to you. If a human had been inside at the time, they would have been instantly disintegrated. They wouldn't survive it. There's no human on Earth that can survive that G-force. And this was in 2003, okay? Obviously, it blew my mind. And at that moment, I knew that we are not alone on Earth. There is life on other planets. For me, that's far less far-fetched than any type of religion, for example. Before that, I'd say, I wasn't a skeptic. I'd say I would sit on the fence, like I sit on the fence with a lot of different things. Obviously, religion isn't one of them. Religion is a man-made concept to control. There's lots of different religions, and I don't want to offend you if you believe in God and whatever else, but for me, that is fantasy. Absolute fantasy. There was lots of stories, and it's to control humanity. So from that point on, I knew that we're not alone. And then throughout the years since 2003, obviously I've been doing as much research as I can up until this point. Everything's been hidden from us, from the CIA and parts of the Navy, a leg of the CIA. A lot of people have debates, is it real, blah, 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 what's happening? For me, there's no debate. We will meet extraterrestrial lives in our lifetime, and it will change everything. It will change technology. It will change, our technology is going to go through the roof. I mean, there's one thing I really hope the extraterrestrials can change, and that is wires. I hate wires. Wires are the bane of my life. They annoy me every single day. I have lots of technical types of things, and I'm continuously battling with wires. And most companies don't make wires even long enough. They make a really good device, but they won't make a wire that's long enough to actually use it properly or plug it in somewhere. I hate wires. Let's do away with wires. Extraterrestrials, please, let's do away with the wires in this world. But I mean, technology is going to go, way beyond having wires. So these craft, a lot of people like to speculate what's human and what's not. For most people, it's quite obvious to see what is man-made and what isn't. But then, unfortunately, the human mind won't allow most people to delve into something that is way beyond their reality. For a long time, they tried to stigmatize anybody that believed in UFOs and extraterrestrials and used to talk about this type of thing, or even someone like me that's actually seen it and know for a fact that they do exist. But, if a lot of people would just laugh at me, obviously, when I've said this in the past, because that's the natural human reaction to do so. And a lot of people can't bring their mind frame to even think about that as a possibility. Whereas if you really think about it, the universe is so vast. To say that we're the only living species, or obviously there's lots of living species on our planet, but the only species out there capable of creating spaceships and whatever else and traveling to other planets. I mean, we're going to do that when we can. We're trying to do it now. So obviously they're far more advanced than us, and they're doing that. So for me, that's not far-fetched at all. For me, it was always within a grasp of reality. I tell you what is far-fetched: religion, God. Virgin Mary had Jesus. You know, she was a virgin. No, she wasn't. There was a little bit of a story that she made up to get out of a bit of cheating. And there we go, there's Jesus. And everybody thought that, you know, he was the Messiah and probably was a wonderful guy. But let's be honest, walking on water, I mean, he could have been an illusionist, we don't know. But it's all, and then obviously the entirety of all religions that are out there are there to control mankind. I strongly believe that religion is basically division. In fact, I believe religion should be renamed to division, because that's all it's done. It's divided, it's created wars, it's created hatred of two different, you know, religious groups or whatever else, to the point where they want to kill each other. You know, obviously there's lots of great things about religion, you know, morals and, you know, whatever else, but really that's all there to control. So everything is about to change. Humanity is about to change for the better. When the extraterrestrials make contact, before or after full disclosure. Now, full disclosure will blow everyone's mind, because that will prove without a doubt that we are not alone in this universe. And in fact, that the government have been working with extraterrestrials since 1955. There was an exchange back in 1955 for technology. Humans wanted the technology they could see. So what they agreed was that they could, you know, test on some humans, not kill any of us, but test on some humans and cattle and whatever else. There's other reasons behind that, which I might go into in a later date. There's a lot of different theories out there, but there's also whistleblowers that have stood up and said there's various reasons why they were testing on humans and cattle. One of the reasons is we see cattle as our food, whereas extraterrestrial specific species could see all of us as food. Obviously that's not good. You can't just go down to a planet and eat everything. So I believe what they've done is they've taken cattle, which we obviously use as one of our main food sources. In fact, it probably is our main food source if you think about it. Chicken, you know, things like that as well. But what they would have done is apparently the adrenal glands of humans, and very well could be cattle as well, are something that they very much like. It's kind of a vitamin to them, makes them high. And they like it, it's good for them, you know. So that's what I believe they've done, you know, rather than causing any trouble with humans. What they've come down and said, look, we're sentient beings, we don't want to walk around eating you guys and whatever else, but we would like them adrenal glands you've got, let's take the cattle. Anyway, I know all of this stuff sounds probably insane. There's also other reasons why these alien species want to sort of come down to Earth and to make harmony and peace with us, and for us to all excel together wherever, you know, the world, wherever the universe can take us, really, because we don't, I mean, anything is possible now. The world used to be our oyster, now the universe is going to be our oyster. But I strongly believe one of the biggest issues is the governments around our world, who you know, they're full of greed, they want wars, they want to kill each other, you know, their own citizens kill another country's citizens over land, you know, or just whatever it is. It's man-made borders, you know, all of that is man-made. And then everyone's got a nuke pointing at each other, not everyone, but there's many countries got a nuke pointing at each other, and that is really bad. And extraterrestrials know that that is really bad, and they know that humans are a bit dippy, let's be honest. You know, especially those in charge. You know, I got a big nuclear bomb, you know, pointing at you. You've got one pointing at me. If you press yours, I press mine. Hey, we both die. Yeah. No, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous way of doing things. Okay. And so you've got all of this. You know, one person presses one of those nukes, and you know, 3/4 of the world's population are gone instantly. And then, you know, we can't have that. So extraterrestrials know how dangerous humans are and how unpredictable we are, which is another reason why this whole process is a slow process, you know. And it's right, humanity may not have been able to accept this a while ago, back in 1955. There would have been mass hysteria. So in order to stop mass hysteria, you've got to do things slowly. And you've got to make humans realise on that all by themselves, you know, those who don't know, you know, they've got to, because they can believe, they can sit on the fence. Unless you know, you can believe, you can sit on the fence, or you can be a skeptic. Okay, and I can understand each one of those. But I can also understand people like myself, and there's many of us, who know categorically that we're not alone, and have done for a long time. And so for us, it's just pure excitement. There's no proving, there's no debate for me. There's no if, but, whatever. There's none of that. All there is it's happening. I'm really excited. That's it. People might think, why is most of the activity happening in America? Right now it's happening all over the globe, and it has been, by the way, for many, many years. Right now, the mass of it is happening in the USA. And that is for one very specific reason. I mean, Russia have had they've got their own bases. America have got, Area 51 and another 130 something bases or more with underground facilities and testing, all of that kind of type of thing. I would suspect China also have quite a lot, but everyone's very secretive. They don't want to share, it's a security issue to be able to share what technology you have. They want to keep it under wraps, and I understand that. One of the main reasons would be that, humans weren't ready back then. There would be mass hysteria. Even now, if the government had actually come out and said, oh, UFO, UAP, drones. No, actually, no, they're definitely UFOs. That's aliens up there. What they're doing by saying that is they're relinquishing their defense, their ability to defend the world. America, for example, which is kind of seen as the leader of all of the world. It's a leading country, or they see themselves like that anyway. And a lot of the world does. So it kind of is like that. That's kind of, so that's why most of the UFO activity is happening over America. It's because also they have been the most secretive and probably had the most influence in hiding everything over the years. So it's really only them that can come out and tell the truth. I mean, Donald Trump would have loved to have told the truth, but he'd be breaking the law. He doesn't want to break the law before he gets in, and then he can do it lawfully, right? And that'll be full disclosure. He's got that choice. Not every president had that choice, because not every president was even let in to know that we're not alone. It's another reason why the government in the UK are literally just not even reporting on it, because the ridiculousness of drones. Okay, now we have had, but we haven't got mass UFOs over our skies right now. We do, but it's not like everybody's seeing viewings like in specific places in America. It's going crazy, right? And that's because it's a slow process. What will happen is the UFOs will start to populate other countries as well. Because first, what needs to happen is humans need to get used to the idea that we might not be alone. There's many whistleblowers that have stood up in Congress, and said this, and high-ranking officials have lost their positions and whatever else over the years. They're not losing their positions anymore. These are now high-ranking officials that are standing up in Congress or wherever else and saying, we have alien technology, we've been using it for many years, we've been working with them for many years, they are here now, and get ready. But then you've got the conspiracy theorists who will be like, oh no, that can't be true because they're saying it is. So there always has to be a narrative behind everything. There always has to be a nefarious narrative. It's always got to be something like the government take control, they're going to try and kill the population, they're going to try and hold back this and that, whatever else. They're doing that anyway. We're eating food continuously that's terrible for us, especially Americans. Processed food is awful, and in the UK, but America's ridiculous. You could put, like Wall Stripper in some Dr. Pepper or some Mountain Dew, whatever it is, and they were drinking it. Oh my God, man! I wonder why I'm so fucking fat. It's because of the food that you are eating. Everything's extra large, everything's processed, everything's terrible for you. And so the government have the choices to, in a way, I don't like the fact that they can go, well, we don't want to give them that anymore. We don't want to give them that. People should make their own choices on how healthy they need to be in life. But America, they're taking it one step further. They've got it. You've got the worst stuff in most of your food. You haven't got any freedom. Americans go, I can take away my freedom. You haven't got any bloody freedom. That is your freedom. You can't even go to a mall without fear of being shot, so you need to take a gun with you. Is that freedom? I tell you what, if you want to go somewhere that's completely free, where you can do anything, it's Holland, okay? Go to Holland. I mean, they are so happy and lovely people. The extraterrestrials should definitely go and visit them first because, they're great. And they sound funny, their voice. Anyway, I'm digressing. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, we have been controlled by our governments. Our governments will have to relinquish the idea that they can defend us anymore, because they can't. There is now a higher force, there's a higher intelligence who are far more capable than humankind. And that's one of the reasons the government aren't doing anything about this, because they can't. What's the point? It's pointless. Resistance is literally futile if they want to make them into an enemy. Their enemy is beyond anything you could imagine. They could just, like that, you know. And if they wanted to do that, they would have already done it, by the way. Those conspiracy theories where people are saying that, you know, due to Hollywood movies and whatever else, and they're great. I love Aliens, you know, Mars Attacks, I watched the other day, fantastic film. But, you know, they're all stories, you know, fantastical stories to entertain. The truth is, just like us, most of the species up there are harmonious, loving, warm, and they want the best. One of the biggest messages from them that I've seen an official stand up and say, and I think it was a decoded message, was the fact that one of the main reasons they're worried about mankind is our nuclear weapons and other chemicals on Earth, which are essentially destroying us and destroying Earth. And the fact that our governments are the ones that have decided to hide their existence because we weren't ready, apparently. Since then, you know, we've had a lot of sightings, but this is the most concrete thing to ever happen. This is the most life-changing event in human history, and we should all be so excited about this. I don't know what forms, I mean, there's lots of theories out there. I can only say what I know categorically. Unlike religious people who believe or think they know, and then they teach in schools as if it's fact. How ridiculous is that? How can a school teach religion as fact when it's all based on theory? Nobody knows. Ridiculous. Factual stuff. What I saw in the sky is no technology we have now, no technology we had then, and it is beyond this world, and it blew my mind. Okay? Fact that Donald Trump has said many, many times that he's going to fully disclose everything, so therefore this is a very good time for them to come down to say, hello, here we are, you're going to need to get used to this idea because everything's about to change. And so they're the factual things that I know. The Galactic Federation, I can't confirm or deny. From all the research that I've done, they exist. All of the species and the whistleblowers and whatever else, they exist. I believe that. I don't know it, I believe it. That's why I've created this channel. Yeah, what they look like, how they move, you know, all of that. I've seen lots of different evidence of lots of different things, but I don't know because I didn't see it with my own eyes. So I can only say what I know that I've seen with my own eyes. You know, that's not belief, that's knowing. And anybody can do this research. But yeah, so that's what's happening. The world is about to change. Get extremely excited about it. It's not something to be worried about. Yeah, it might seem very scary, and some of them kind of, you know, them UFOs and whatever else, they look pretty weird. But you know, we don't know what forms the aliens will actually be in. Apparently they communicate telepathically with each other. There is many different species which I'll go over in another video. But that will be my belief, what I believe, or what I could be on the fence about, you know, because I don't know. So I'll go over those videos. What I'm hoping on this channel, because I've started it now, and this is a crazy hope, isn't it? That when they do make contact, which is happening imminently, you know, when I say contact, I mean that the cat is out of the bag, you know, there's no one can deny it. And then at that point, we will see actual extraterrestrials. On this channel, hopefully, we'll be able to potentially sit down and interview, talk about the origins and life and the existence and technologies and whatever else, you know, and their abilities and all of those things and what they can do for humans, and, you know, endless conversations about things. And that's even if they can speak like us, we don't know. Apparently they communicate telepathically, which could cause a bit of an issue with YouTube and them actually talking, but you know, we don't know. We've just got to be open-minded. And there's lots of different species, so some of them maybe can talk and they can form words. We don't even know if they physically exist. They could be a type of, you know, you've seen the orbs, what are they? You know, are they, can you put your hand through them? Are they like a gas? We don't know. We have no idea yet. That's stuff we don't know. What we do know is that they are 100% real, or what I know anyway. You can believe unless you've seen it yourself and you know for a fact. And everything is about to change. And the world is about to become an extremely, extremely exciting place. This is the most exciting time to be alive as a human right now. And so, yeah, that's it. That's my first video. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.